Welcome to Gisnik Furang, which also means the inner voice in Garo. Gisnik Furang is completely a neutral platform that aims only to give information and update for the right decisions that the people are about to make. We were present on Facebook since the last 12 years, and since the last 2 months, we have opened this video podcast for the same purpose that we have had in the past. In our endeavor, we called so many people, so many eminent figures, so many parties, and those people who make decisions for us. We believe that knowing them, knowing the ideologies they carry, and the ethics they follow, we would be able to make right decisions and also expect something out of this society. We called many people from all the parties, NPP, BJP, TMC, Congress, and some more. Therefore, VPP was one of them, and we even contacted them because there were some people who wanted to know about them as well. And because, to be honest, their ideologies are very different, and they being some of the most vocal figures actually intrigued us, so we wanted to know more about them. And thus, we contacted VPP as well. And today, because of that, we have got their party president, the MLA of Nongkrem, and probably one of the most vocal figures of Meghalaya today, Shri Ardent Basaimoit. I hope this video podcast helps you understand him and his party much better. Welcome to the show, sir. Sir, could you please share a little bit of your personal and political history?
At the very outset, on behalf of the Voice of the People Party and on my personal behalf, I would like to express my sincere thanks to you for having me in this program. Coming to the questions, and I would like to just in brief tell you that I've been in the social field since the time I was in college. And I've also had the opportunity to associate myself with the Garo people since the late 80s, before I entered politics. In fact, I'm not interested in politics, but the situation compels me to enter into an electoral politics, where I decided to contest the first MLA election as an independent candidate from Nongkrem constituency in 2003, where I lost badly in this election. Then again, I contested the second election in 2008, where I won, and continued to win in 2013. And again, unfortunately, I may say, or maybe the plan of God, that I lost by 76 votes only in 2018. It was during this period where I was, completely distant myself from electoral politics. I had resigned from the party, HSPDP, that there is a feeling from different quarters that no, we just cannot leave this space like this. We need to do something. The state needs right people to be in politics. So ultimately, we decided to launch this new regional political party, namely the Voice of the People Party, on the 19th of November 2021. So we fought election in 2023, where we won the 4 MLAs, and by the grace of God, we also managed to win this just concluded MP election from Seoul parliamentary constituency with a hands-down majority. So this is just in brief that I would like to explain.
So, sir, your party is well known for some aggressive and very vocal voice for the people. And the ideologies are a little bit different. I saw that, I don't know whether I'm correct or wrong, but I saw that even anti-corruption is one part of your ideology. So how do you view Meghalaya as a whole? What is your vision about Meghalaya? And where does Garo Hills stand in that?
You see, for the benefit of the audience, right, I think I need to remind you that Meghalaya was carved out of Assam as a full-fledged state in the 21st January 1972. After more than a decade of sustained movement led by far-sighted leaders. During the Hill State movement, the people had a very high expectation from the leaders. They hoped that with the attainment of a new state, it would usher in the security to the indigenous tribals' identity, culture, land, and economic interest. It was also their dream that the new state would bring development and prosperity to the people. Without any doubt, the state was led by committed leaders. The Meghalaya Legislative Assembly was full of intelligent members where they debated and discussed public issues with great interest. The Meghalaya Transfer of Land Regulation Act was, a testimony of the fact that those leaders were really committed to protect the rights of the indigenous people, the indigenous tribal of the state. There were many other initiatives also, like the Meghalaya Residential Bill 1973, then the Employment Bill, where the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly have passed these bills. But unfortunately, they could not become a law. And it was attributed to the opposition of the Indian National Congress for the failure of the Meghalaya Residential Bill to become a law. Imagine what would have happened if this piece of legislation become an act. Unnecessary turmoil and agitations that have been taking place for more than decades could have been averted. So those leaders, they have also made serious attempts and initiative, like the constitution of the Education Commission, then the Land Reform Commission for the Khas Hills region. So it clearly shows that those leaders, they have a great interest on the issues concerning the state and its people. Had this vision and initiative been pursued seriously, our beloved state would not have been in a condition that we are today. A vision of a prosperous and secured Meghalaya was shattered and eventually forgotten, under the influence of the growing influence, I would say, of the National Party. The people of the state, as I've said, they had a very high expectation from the leaders, and the leaders, they have made serious attempt. But unfortunately, a politics, a principle and issue-based politics was replaced by a politics of corrupt practices, characterized by horse trading, lack of accountability, irresponsibility, unethical practices. And the entry of those, who view politics into the electoral politics, I mean to say, as a means to further their business interest, has further diluted the vision of those leaders. So these are the things, these are the reasons. It is against these developments that the leaders of the Voice of the People Party felt the need to form this newly regional political party, namely the Voice of the People Party, with a commitment, to restoring and reviving the old values and glory. The lost values and glory of Meghalaya. So that is the main reason where we decided to float this new political party. And we've also seen that the entry of these business-centric politicians, coupled, with the dynastic politics, has had a very huge and negative impact, on different sectors as far as the life of the state is concerned, whether in the field of education, agriculture, health, economic activities, so on and so forth. So it is rather unthinkable that Meghalaya, which is being blessed with rich resources, is now becoming the poorest state in the country, as per the report of the Niti Aayog, this multi-dimensional index. So we feel that we are duty bound to do something for the state. And when we form this political party, we also form with a conviction that this party is going to be a party with a difference, a party that has a vision, where we have spelled out the vision of the party to revive, restore, and transform Meghalaya, because we are also committed to bringing transformation in, social, economical, and political aspect of the state. So that the main objective of the Voice of the People Party, is to eradicate or fight against corruption. Because we find that corruption is an enemy, a serious enemy to human beings. So it is the main impediment to growth and prosperity of the state. So which is why, as the party, we have declared a war against corruption, which means that corruption is one of the topmost priority. And our intention or objective is also to eradicate poverty from the state and to fight against oppression. We have seen that people are being oppressed by the ruling class, where the present dispensation, if you look at the way the present dispensation is working, you will see that they are already creating a class of people in the state, and between the have and the have-nots. So we have seen that the gap between the rich and the poor is getting wider every day. So which is why we have made it clear that the voice of the people will fight against corruption, will eradicate poverty. So we keep on educating the people about the stand of the party. And the emergence of the voice of the people party is not driven by any personal interest to serve the purpose of one individual or a group of people, but it is purely for the benefit of the people of the state and the state as a whole. So therefore, when you ask about where is Garo Hills stands in the voice of the people party, we would take this opportunity through this channel to tell the people of Garo Hills that the voice of the people party is a state regional party. And we would like to have a politics of inclusiveness, where we will include every citizen of the state. There is no intention at all that the voice of the people party will confine only in Khasi Jaintia region. But it is not also easy for us in one go to spread to every nook and corner of the state. So it will come in a phased manner, where now we, in the beginning, we want to consolidate our position in Khasi Jaintia regions. And we must thank God that we have really, got the support of the people in that region. And the party is now turning its eye towards the Garo Hills region, where we feel that we need to highlight the people of Garo Hills about the voice of the people party, the ideology. And as leaders of the party, we had also decided to adopt the God's principle into our politics. So that is the difference between the voice of the people party and all the established and existing parties that are there in Meghalaya.
I ask you especially about Garo Hills because in the past, from the issues that you raised and the kind of aggressions and passion that you showed to the people, it was painted as a communal figure by many groups. And me as a Garo, who doesn't communicate much with those in Shillong or wherever, it's a very different kind of story that we hear most of the time. So, and VPP is taken as some kind of a regional party that is only comfortable in Khasi and Jaintia Hills. So now you coming to Garo Hills in itself is a shock to me, and you coming here to this studio to clarify your stance in itself is very positive. So how would you describe the kind of communal image that you have got till now?
You see, in politics, there is a general perception misperception in the minds of the people about politics. That in politics, people feel that they can do anything. They used to say that, oh, in politics, even an angel is working together with the devil. But that is not our kind of politics. We don't believe in that kind of politics, right? So we know that we have been wrongly portrayed as a communal party just because, especially after we raise the issue of reservation policy, the need to review. We are a party with a difference, as I've said. And there are many agendas that we have mentioned in the election manifestos of the party, the election promises. So for us, promises are promises. They are not empty promises. When we promise to the people to fight against corruption, we really mean it. So when we mentioned the agendas in the manifesto, we really mean it. So what I feel is that our decision to take up this reservation policy issue should not be seen that we are against, the Garo people as a community. Because if you go through the resolution of this reservation policy, you will see that in order to ensure, and to provide adequate representation in the government job, so there's a need to have a policy between the two communities. And that policy needs to be based in terms of population. So we are not asking something that will take away the rights of the Garo people. We are only, addressing the problem we want to rectify. Because if you go according to that resolution, it speaks out clearly, to provide adequate representation. That means in the administration for these two communities. But we have also to remember that we don't share equal number of population. We are not exactly equal, Where the Khasi community, the population of the Khasi community is almost double than the population of the Garo community. So which is why we feel that this review needs to be done, and that it has to be done in such a way, with the population structure. That means it has to be proportionate. You will get your own right. We are not going to take away your right. And the Garo people, they should also understand, our Garo brothers, that the reservation policy is not the only factor, that leads to the backwardness or to the present condition of the entire Garo Hills region. There are many other factors. Education, because the Voice of the People Party wants to ensure the overall development. And if you read our vision statement, you'll find that there was a mention in that booklet where we have circulated. When we talk about the resources of the state, we want to ensure that there has the resources of the state needs to be distributed equitably, and we want to ensure for a strong and decisive leadership. Then we want to ensure for a peace and tranquility that needs to be prevail in the state. So when you look closely at the manifesto, at the vision statement, you will come to know that this attempt to paint the Voice of the People Party as a communal party is only an attempt, that comes from our political opponent. You see, our political opponents, I strongly believe in Garo Hills, they must have seen the acceptance of the people in Khasi Hills for the Voice of the People Party. The people of Khasi Hills, they didn't support us because we stand against the Garos. But because we stand against corruption, against poverty, and against the manner in which the government is indulged, where the government has adopted policy which is not pro-people. The policy that is taking care only for their own people, which is why in the just concluded assembly election, I raised on the floor of the House that we have seen how this government work. They go by a policy, you scratch my back, I will scratch yours. So that means if you belong to the ruling party, or ruling parties for that matter, you'll be taken care of. If you need to be rewarded for a contract work, you have to support the ruling party. So all these activities of the ruling parties made the people to taunt to the voice of the People Party. So I feel that I should thank you once again for inviting me, to this channel, so that we can have a platform to reach out to our Garo brothers and sisters. I even made a mention on the floor of the House that if I were as communal as those, I would not have chosen to associate myself with the Garo people since the late 80s.
So, sir, now let me stick with this reservation. Now, I'll give you the counterpart that the normal people in Garo Hills are giving. Khasi Hills, especially from Shillong and Tura, had been geographically disconnected for such a long time. The routes through which you came today, there's through Joai, through Northline. Yeah, it was horrible. I still remember we going to Shillong through this road because of some emergencies, and it took us 2 days. And in this kind of geographical disconnection, there have been so many instances, in fact, thousands and thousands of instances where Garos could not apply even for basic employment opportunities. And on the other hand, bureaucracy, officials, and all the high leaders are in Shillong, either it be Garos or the Khasis. Now, in this process, the representation of the Garos have never been given equal opportunity in the past. I have got so many friends who did not get jobs just because they could not go to Shillong. Because going to Shillong in itself demands a hell lot of stress and at the same time financial. So now, if you look at demography, no doubt Khasis are much, much more populated. But if you look at the conditions today, the Garos and the Khasis are much, much more advanced. In fact, so much so that the Khasis have become kind of general category for the Garos. And we are, in the real world, lacking behind in so many ways. And there could be plenty of explanation. But then, if we look at the Garos right now, don't you think that the reservation policy that was given to us way back in the 70s is fair enough? Or it should be even implemented more?
See, you have to understand, I said, we go by the spirit of the reservation policy in order to ensure adequate representation, right? So, but as I've said, we don't share equal number in population. That has to be understood very clearly. And despite the fact that a number is being given 40:40, all along, the Garo people could not fill up that 40, their own numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question here is, why can't they fill up? Why can't they fill up? Because there are some other factors also that contributed to the backwardness of the Garo Hills region. You cannot simply say that, no, we are lacking behind, we are remaining backward because of the reservation policy. I think you agree with me.
Yeah,
So you should question your own leadership. When you look at the leadership of the state, when you compare the number of years, you will find that most of those years, after the completion of 50 years of existence, you'll find that most of those years, the leadership for the state of Meghalaya comes from Garhwals. So what have they done to the Garhwals? Where is the development? And even today also, when you look at the examination in the education department, like the diet and even the matriculation, you'll find that you can still find that there are some schools with a 0 pass percentage. Why? Is it because of reservation policy? Or is it because of the lack of quality education? So we need to concentrate on the overall development of the state. As you've said, road, infrastructure, education, health. So we want that the Voice of the People Party, when we raise this issue, we also understand that our Garuan brothers, brothers and sisters, as of today, they will not be able to compete with us. We understand about that. Which is why we are asking, for a review to be done proportionately according to the population. Some representative, even from Garuhis, they have given a suggestion. They have given a statement in the media during those days that let us have 80% reception for the Khasis and the Garus. We understand that it's not possible. How can we just say give open to the Khasis and Garus? Because we know. So which is why we feel, because when it comes to the pressure from the educated, unemployed youths in Khasi Jain division, the pressure is so huge because of the numbers. Because our population, as I've said, is almost double than your population.
Yes.
In the last MP election, the listed voters in the electoral roll has come from the Khasi Jain region up to 14 lakhs and Gavils 8 lakhs, something. That means almost double. So we feel that this is what we are asking, what we are fighting is a policy which is just and fair. You see, especially after the implementation of roster. Because for us, roster is not a problem. It is a mechanism that needs to be adopted in order to ensure that the implementation of this policy, is strictly adhered. So after the implementation of the roster system, the pressure on the unemployed youths in Khasi Jain is increasing. So we feel that we need to address this issue amicably. We don't want to, which is why when we raise this issue, even the choice of word that we are using is really very careful, because we don't want that it will spark to any kind of communal tension between the two communities. But we feel we are duty bound. This is the mistake that our leaders in the past have committed, where they just decide, to make this 40:40 ratio in terms of this job reservation policy is concerned. We feel that they should go according to what it was written in that resolution. In terms of population adequate, that means if your population, say, is 38%, if your population contributes to 30% to the population of the state, 38% is your reservation. We are not going to take away your right. So that is the way we want to, address this issue. And we feel that we are not doing anything wrong when we raise this issue, and we feel that we are not asking more than what we deserve.
Now, the thing is, the entire system nowadays, the society in itself is polarized. Even in Khasi Hills or even in Garo Hills, there are people who are extremist part, and those people, majority of the people who are very, down to earth, and they are very timid. Now, the Khasis and the Garos are equals. From the day the state was built, even the Jaintias, for that matter. Now, in this, we are all struggling. In our own rights, we are all struggling, the Khasis, the Jaintias, and the Garos. In this struggle, if this kind of issues are raised, don't you think that the communal, the politicians or whoever are painting a picture about VPP, it will be easier for them to give you more communal image?
From the point of the People Party, whenever we say anything or we raise any issue, we don't raise an issue just to get a political benefit out of it. We raise this issue because we feel it is needed to be raised. It is politics based on need and issue based. So we are not playing politics just for electoral gains only. We understand that our political rival or opponent will take advantage. But what we feel that, if we feel that what we are doing is right, and as we have said, we have already decided to adopt the God's principle, the instructions that God has given to us. Because when we enter politics, we don't enter politics to make a profit out of it for personal benefit. It is to address the problem. So we find that here the problem is that the leaders fail to review this policy after a few years, of becoming a full-fledged state. They should have reviewed. And I'm telling you, had they reviewed this policy, say 10 years after the attainment of the statehood, the problem would not have arisen. Because there has to be a roster. The roster is being framed according to the policy. But why they fail to do that? Because, the numbers are there. The ratio between the two communities is there. They have decided. But when it comes to implementation, so which is why we feel that this is the right time that we need to review and have a roster system on the reservation policy, then the problem will not arise anymore. And we also understand that we are reaching in a stage where government job has become saturated. We cannot expect much, but at least whatever, because of the pressure, due to the higher number in the population, as far as the Khasi region is concerned. So we understand that, yes, our political opponent, but we will try our best to convey, which is why immediately after that protest, I visited Garo Hills. Had it been that we have any bad intention against the Garo people, why should we come down to Garo Hills? Even now also we know that we will get the support in Khasi Jaintia region. In the last MP election, we won, in 32 constituencies out of 36 constituencies. And even if we know that we are going to win 33 or 34 in the assembly constituency, we never have, in mind that we will not take care of Garo Hills. We will just crush them because we've got the majority. That is not there in our minds. Because you need to understand that our principle is different. It's different. We are all believers. We believe in God, where our God whom we serve is a God of justice. We know that we need to do justice also to the people of the state. So we leave up to the people of the Garwels, whether they will still have that doubts, apprehensions about our sincerity as far as the intentions of the party is concerned. Because our intention, our priorities is against corruption, poverty, oppression, and this reservation policy is one of the issues that we have promised to the people, and we really want to see that this issue is addressed for the benefit of the people of the state, especially the two communities, the two main tribes in Meghalaya.
So you are in some way or the other related to Garo Hills and the Garos. Now, if you look at Garo Hills, what kind of observations do you have regarding the developmental projects, growth of the people, and issues? What kind of observations you have got personally, and what are the options that you could give to the people?
You see, when we look at the Garo Hills, we could see that Garo Hills, needs to be given more concentration as far as the development is concerned. And it's really pathetic to say that after 52 years of statehood, to see that a particular region in the state is being left behind. We have seen many development programs that has been announced by the government, remains to be seen the light of the day till today. We've just seen announcement of developments, announcement of programs, but we know that in ground reality, there is no such progress. So what we feel is that if the people of the state and the people of Garwels give us a chance, to govern the state, we will ensure that the voice of the People Party will not work only for a particular region, but we are going to work for the entire state to ensure that the entire state is developed and poverty is eradicated, not only from one particular region, but from the entire state. Which is why in the beginning I have made a mention that our politics is a politics of inclusiveness.
So, sir, this is very special because I need to know you had an overwhelming majority last time in this MP election, and you won by a very, very big vote, big margin, in fact. Now, what is the funding and election process that you follow? Because I believe that the election that we have in Garo Hills is completely different. It's more or less like kind of grassroots chit-chat and some kind of, the way you have called it, kind of horse trading. But what was the major reason behind such big numbers and kind of movements that you got from this one, Kasihir?
You see, in fact, it was a long campaign that we had undertaken as a party. In fact, I had initiated the Clean Politics campaign since 2010. Because when I enter politics, I also understand that politics alone cannot do anything. We need clean politics. A different kind of practice in politics to get rid of corruption. So people needs to understand what corruption is all about. Then how do we fight against corruption? Corruption cannot be confined to monetary terms only. It has a wider connotations. So we go and educate the people, keep on educating the people, that if we really want to see the bright future for your children, you need to understand that it is your duty. It comes from you at the time of an election where you elect your MLA or MDC. So you should be very careful how to elect your MLA or MDC. you should know his duty and responsibility. You should also know your rights. So if you people take elections so lightly and as a kind of a festival where you will get free food, free transportation for picnics, then every day you'll get few amounts of money from these candidates, then it's the end of the story. So we need to understand that it all lies in the people, how to elect a representative. So we keep on educating the people till such time where the people feel that yes, it is my duty to choose a right person. So they start searching for a right person, the right party that will stand, where they don't need money during election. They will instead give us money to support us.
So people give you money.
Yeah, we get the support of the people even financially.
Okay.
Financially. In every meeting, people, they will donate us generously without anyone having to ask the people to give money. They will on their own voluntarily give us money. They understand that we will not come to people with money power. We will not give them money. We will not ask money from any businessman. We will not be obliged to anyone. We will be only obliged to the people who have elected us. So we'll give the best service to the people.
We heard from the news that you used the entire fund that was given to you as an MLA. So could you please elaborate something on that?
Okay, this is also one of the assurances or promises that we have made to the people. That see, an MLA has his own duties. And in Meghalaya, the government used to earmark a fund for every MLA so that he can work for the constituency. And through this fund, he can earmark a fund for a school building, for a community hall, even for financial assistance to individuals. So what I used to do, in every year, out of this MLA scheme, which is being earmarked to the tune of, it has been increased now to close 50 lakhs, 58 lakhs, with some other schemes, to gross 50 lakhs under the SRWP, 3 lakhs under the ISYDP, Intensive Sport Youth Development Programs, where we give funds or assistance to the sports clubs and for organizing sports activities, 2 lakhs 50 under the IACDP, Intensive Art Culture Development Program, to promote the culture, of the people of the state, and development of traditional folk music, 2 lakh 50, that is to preserve the traditional folk music. So all this amount is being told, and declared openly in front of the people. And out of this amount, which the government has earmarked to each and every MLA, we plan different types of schemes to the people. Say, in a year, I used to plan 100 low-cost houses out of this scheme. So we select the beneficiaries, the rightful beneficiaries.
Internally.
Yeah. Then around 200 for renovation, upgradation of their houses. Then 500 households for people, engaging in farming and trading. Give them financial support. So the people, they are getting the whole amount of that MLA schemes, which are meant to the people. So we used to tell the people that this is not my hard-earned money. It is neither my salary. It is the schemes which the government has earmarked to each and every MLA for the constituency. So, and from the party, we had gone a step further. We've written a letter to each and every MLA of the party that the implementation of MLA scheme has to be in a transparent manner. I mean, each and every member of the constituency, each and every electorate of that party he has to know how you implement or we implement this MLA scheme.
So, sir, you are very vocal. There is no doubt about the intentions that your party has. Now, if you compare your party along with some others, I don't want to name anybody or anyone. Now, what about the other oppositions? How do you feel that the other opposition parties are functioning according to you?
You see, the strength of the opposition party. We are only 10 members in the opposition, where 4 MLAs belongs to the Voice of the People Party, 1 to the Congress as of now, and 5 to the TMC. And many scribes, reported, they used to ask me, why there is no unity in the opposition. So I question, how can you say that there is no unity? We are united on issues. We, as a party, we don't want to enter into an alliance with other political parties in the opposition because we've got our own ideology, our own philosophy as a party, where we cannot compromise with our ideology. So we don't want to have a kind of an alliance with other political parties because we fear, that maybe in the future we have some issue that is not, according to the belief and the philosophy of the party to support that issue. We will not be able to stand unitedly. So therefore, we had announced right from the start that we will be in the opposition. We will stand unitedly on issues affecting the state and the people. And that itself is unity. We raise the issues together. When the member belonging from the Congress or TMC raise an issue concerning the state and the people, we join together to support the member of that political party. But we just want to avoid from being part of any kind of an alliance in the opposition. We want to stay away from that kind of alliance, lest we encounter with some issues that is contradicting the stand of the party.
So, sir, do you have any intentions for Garo Hills?
Yes, we had in fact discussed at the party, and we have been also conveyed, a message from different quarters in Garo Hills that why don't you come to Garo Hills? We are invited, in fact, to visit Garo Hills, to start organizing the party here. And we have been told that most of the right-thinking people in Garo Hills, they would love to see the Voice of the People Party, in Garo Hills, because they have seen our sincerity, they have seen how we take the stand, be it inside the house or outside the house. As we have said, that if you don't allow us to raise issue inside, we will hit the street. So I think VPP is the only party, that has taken up issues to the street, replacing the role of the pressure groups in Meghalaya. So I think the performance of the Voice of the People Party in these last few months, and recently had really stirred the minds of the people in Garo Hills.
So there is an upcoming election in Gambigri right now. So any plans for that?
As of now, there is no immediate plan, but it depends, because I was asked the same question. Ardent, do you have any plan to field candidate in Gambigri? So I told him that it depends if we get the right candidate. If we get the right candidate who subscribe to the idea, belief, and philosophy of the party. Because we will not fight election just to win election. For us, when we enter into the field, we want to win the election, but we don't care if we lose also. That means we are not going to do things that are not supposed to be done by the Voice of the People Party.
So how long do you work in a day? It's quite personal, but you got time to come to my podcast all the way from Shillong. And when I asked him a while ago, he told me that he came only for this. So this is something quite unheard of by us. We had invited so many people from Garo Hills and so many even from Khasi Hills also. They take time. And the way we communicated was completely casual. I happened to come to know of him through one of my friends. He just called me 2 days back, and today he is here. So, sir, what is the kind of work process or workflow that you follow, and what is the regarding media?
Let me tell you that for me, this is a service that I've given to the people, and it has become my priority. So my service to the people precedes, my service to the family. So for me, this job comes first. Service to the people comes first. So, and as I've said, for us to become an MLA is not a position or a status. It is only an empowerment where people empower us to work for them. There's nothing. So when we feel that this is urgent, this is really an issue that needs to be addressed, so this is the place that I need to go, it doesn't matter, we will reach that place. So I take this as an opportunity to convey my sincere, intention on behalf of the party, the Voice of the Party, to the people of Garo Hills, whom I used to fondly call them brothers and sisters, since I've associated with them long time back, that they should not misunderstand us, that they should not fall into the trap of our political opponents who have been trying to portray us as a communal party. We are not communal. We are not at all. We want to see that the entire Meghalaya is developed, and its territory is secured, and poverty is eradicated. That means from the entire Meghalaya, not only from a specific region. So I think I've been able to convey the message very clearly to the people of Garo Hills, and I hope that the people of Garo Hills, before they reject the Voice of the People Party, they should reserve that for a moment and try us first and see if we cannot perform, then throw us out. And this is the way that we used to go to the people. Try us out, and if we fail, throw us out. Because you are the one who can decide for your future by exercising your rights judiciously.
This is Ardent. I'm very thankful for him and his team for coming to this very humble studio. We wanted to talk in regional languages, but we could not. I did not know Khasi, he did not know Garo, but one state made us brothers. For a neutral media like us, if there are some suggestions or some kind of advices, do give us. We look forward to meet some of their leaders in coming days, and we also look forward to see some others from other parties also in coming days. Thank you for watching.